Have you ever wondered why the more you try to be liked, the less people take you seriously? Why the nicer you are, the more others feel comfortable disrespecting you? What if I told you that the very thing you're chasing, being liked, is the exact thing that's killing your power? Before we dive deep, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel and watch this video until the very end. Because if you understand what I'm about to share, it will change not just your love life, but the way the world treats you. Now, let's talk about a truth people avoid. Being liked is not power. Being respected is. And Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. Most people live their whole lives believing that if they're kind, agreeable, and easy to accept, the world will naturally return that kindness. But history and experience show us the opposite. People don't value what is easy. They value what is rare. They respect what has strength. Let me take you into a story. There was once a man named Adrian. Adrian was known by everyone as the good guy, the kind of man who never said no, who always put others first, who was always available, always accommodating, always eager to avoid conflict. At first, people praised him. They called him sweet, generous, and humble. But here's the Machiavellian twist. Over time, the same people who praised him began to use him. His girlfriend began taking him for granted. His co-workers dumped extra work on him. His friends treated him like an optional tool, useful but replaceable. Adrian didn't realize what Machiavelli wrote centuries ago. It is much safer to be feared than loved. Not because fear is cruelty, but because fear creates boundaries, and boundaries create respect. Adrian didn't need to be feared, but he desperately needed boundaries. He needed to stop trying to be liked. He needed to understand power. One day he finally snapped, not in anger, but in clarity. He stepped back. He stopped over-explaining. He stopped apologizing for existing. He stopped being available at the call of every person who wanted something from him. And slowly, the world around him shifted. People who used him lost access. People who respected him drew closer. His girlfriend suddenly missed the old him because the new him didn't tolerate disrespect. And for the first time in his life, Adrian felt something he had never felt before: power. This story reflects what every man and woman discovers at some point in life. Being liked is cheap, respect is expensive. And Machiavelli explains exactly why. So let's break down the Machiavellian lessons hidden in this story, and how you can use them to unlock the dark power of respect. 1. Stop seeking approval. It makes you predictable. Have you ever been in love with someone so deeply that their opinion of you became the center of your world? Think back. Maybe it was your first love. Or maybe it's someone in your life right now. Remember how you felt, how your stomach twisted when they didn't text back, how you adjusted your behavior just to avoid upsetting them. We've all been there, and that's exactly where the trap begins. When you try to be liked, especially in love, you start editing yourself. You start talking differently, acting differently, even thinking differently, just to win their approval. And here's the part nobody tells you. The moment someone realizes that you crave their validation, they instantly learn how to control you. This is what Machiavelli warned about. He said, "A person who reveals what they want becomes a person who can be controlled." Think about your own relationships. Think of the times you tried too hard. Maybe you stayed up late waiting for a reply. Maybe you forgave disrespect just to keep the peace. Maybe you lowered your standards just to avoid losing someone. And ask yourself, did it make them respect you more? Or did it make them feel they could treat you however they wanted? The truth hits hard. When people know you want to be liked, they stop valuing you. You become predictable. And predictable people lose power. The moment someone sees that you fear losing them, they no longer fear losing you. But imagine flipping this dynamic. Imagine becoming someone who doesn't chase approval, someone who doesn't bend, someone who doesn't lose themselves in love. That's when respect begins. And that's when your story changes. Do control your emotions or they will control you. Have you ever loved someone so intensely that your emotions felt like a storm? You couldn't stop. The kind of love where one message from them can make your whole day. and one small disappointment can destroy it? Think of that person. Yes, the one your heart remembers even if your mind tries to forget. Do you remember how your emotions behaved around them? Machiavelli believed something brutally true. The person who cannot command their emotions will eventually obey someone else's. And if you look at your own love life, you'll see it. Think about the moment you felt jealous, insecure, angry, or too attached. Did you act from strength? Or did your emotions push you into decisions you regretted? Maybe you sent a message you shouldn't have. Maybe you begged for attention when you should have stayed silent. Maybe you reacted quickly when patience would have protected you. Every one of us has done it. And afterward we think, why did I do that? That's not me. But it was you. It was the version of you that your emotions controlled. Machiavelli knew that the easiest person to manipulate is someone who is emotional, impulsive, driven by reaction instead of strategy. And here's the painful truth. People lose respect for you when your emotions sit in the driver's seat. Because emotions expose your fears, they expose your attachment, they expose how much power someone has over you. But imagine this. Imagine if you stayed calm when others tried to provoke you. Imagine if you walked away instead of arguing. Imagine if you didn't beg, didn't chase, didn't panic, no matter how much you cared. That's when you become powerful. That's when people think twice before hurting you. That's when respect begins to replace pity. Control your emotions, or someone else will use them to control you. 3. People respect what they cannot easily access. Have you ever noticed how the person you loved the most was the same person who took you for granted? Why does this happen? Why do people stop valuing what's right in front of them? Think about your own love story, yes, the one that still sits quietly in your chest. Remember how available you were, how quickly you replied, how ready you were to show up, even when they wouldn't do the same. Now be honest, did they respect you more as time went on or less? Machiavelli understood a dark truth about human nature. People desire what is scarce, and they disrespect what is always available. You've lived this truth. When you gave too much, you became predictable. When you showed up instantly, you became routine. When you always forgave, your forgiveness became worthless. Not because you were wrong, but because humans are wired to stop valuing anything that doesn't require effort. Think about it. Would you treasure gold if it fell from the sky every day? Would a beautiful sunset feel special if it lasted forever? Now imagine you became like gold, rare, selective, not easily accessed. Imagine you didn't reply instantly. Imagine your time wasn't offered freely. Imagine your presence had conditions, boundaries, and standards. People would begin to treat you differently. Your words would carry more weight. Your silence would become powerful. Your absence would be felt deeply. You don't earn respect by being always available. You earn respect by becoming meaningful, not common. By becoming a privilege, not a convenience. And here's the Machiavellian truth. When you become harder to access, people suddenly remember your value. When you become rare, people fight to keep you. When you pull back, the world leans forward. Stop being everywhere. Start being missed. Or do not explain, let your actions speak. How many times have you tried to explain yourself to someone who had already made up their mind about you? Think about your past relationship, the one that taught you your hardest lessons. Remember how you tried to convince them you cared? How you tried to show them your loyalty, your love, your intentions. But no matter how much you explained, it never changed anything. Why? Because people don't listen to explanations. People listen to impact. People listen to actions. Machiavelli understood this darkness in human nature. He knew that explaining yourself is a sign of weakness, not clarity. A sign that you want validation, not power. The moment you start explaining too much, you give the other person control. You hand them your worth and beg them to accept it. Think about how many times you texted long paragraphs trying to fix things. How many times you defended your choices because you didn't want them to misunderstand you. How many times you apologized just to keep them happy. But did those explanations bring respect? Or did they drain you? Here's the truth you already felt in your bones. People don't respect explanations, they respect results. When you stop explaining yourself, You stop seeking approval. You stop justifying your existence. You stop being emotionally predictable. Imagine if the next time someone doubted you, you simply acted. No words, no paragraphs, no emotional speeches, just action. People can argue with your words. They cannot argue with your behavior. Your silence becomes mysterious. Your decisions become powerful. Your results become undeniable. The moment you stop explaining, people finally start paying attention. Because actions carry a weight words never will. This is how you shift the power back to yourself, quietly, strategically, and unmistakably. If not everyone deserves your kindness. Have you ever given someone your purest kindness, only to watch them treat it like it meant nothing? Maybe it was someone you loved deeply. Maybe it was a friend you trusted with your heart. Maybe it was a person you believed would never hurt you. And yet, you gave them everything, your time, your support, your loyalty, your love. And they gave you disappointment. That memory still burns in your chest, doesn't it? You replay those moments wondering, why wasn't I enough? Why didn't they see my intentions? But here's the truth. Machiavelli understood long before any of us learned the hard way. Kindness is power, and power given to the wrong person becomes a weapon against you. Some people see your kindness as weakness. Some see it as an opportunity. Some see it as permission to take more than they give. Think about your own story, the one that still feels fresh. Remember when you forgave them again and again, because your heart was softer than their behavior deserved? Remember when you helped them, even though they would never do the same for you? And remember how they walked away without looking back, because they never valued what you offered. Here is the dark truth. Kindness is not a universal gift. It is a selective strategy. You must give it only to those who can hold it with respect. Because when you give kindness to someone who doesn't deserve it, you drain your strength, your energy leaks, your value fades. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. So from now on, don't stop being kind. Just stop being kind to everybody. Your kindness should be earned, not expected. Protected, not exploited. Because not everyone deserves the softness of your heart, especially those who mistake it for something cheap. Respect is built through mystery. Have you ever noticed how the people you loved the most were the ones who suddenly stopped respecting you? When you became too available, too predictable, too easy to understand. Think about that one relationship where you opened your entire heart. You told them everything, your fears, your dreams, your weaknesses, your plans. You answered every message instantly. You explained every emotion. You tried to make them feel safe with your honesty. But what happened? Slowly, they stopped valuing you. They stopped chasing you. They stopped choosing you with the same energy you chose them. Why? Because mystery died. Machiavelli understood something most people never learn until they get hurt. People don't respect what they fully understand. They respect what they cannot completely figure out. When someone knows every thought in your head, they stop wondering about you. And when they stop wondering, they stop valuing. Mystery doesn't mean being fake. It means being strategic. It means keeping parts of yourself sacred. Your emotions, your plans, your next move. It means speaking less and doing more. Revealing enough to stay connected, but not enough to be predictable. Think about the last time you fell for someone hard. Remember how they pulled away the moment you started giving more than they gave. Remember how your openness felt beautiful to you, but overwhelming to them. This is where mystery saves you. Mystery makes people pay attention. Mystery makes people curious. Mystery makes people respect you, because they can never take you for granted. When people don't know everything, they remain alert. When they remain alert, they remain careful. And when they remain careful, they treat you with respect. So protect your silence. Protect your inner world. Protect the parts of you only the worthy should see. Because respect isn't earned by being an open book. It's earned by being a book they can never fully read. 7. Put yourself first always. Have you ever given so much of yourself to someone else that you forgot what it felt like to care for yourself? Have you stayed up late worrying about their happiness, sacrificed your plans, or silenced your own desires just to make them feel loved? Think about that one love story in your life, the one that still lingers in your memory. Remember how you prioritized them over your own needs, thinking that love meant giving endlessly. And yet, what did you get in return? Disappointment, misunderstanding, or even disrespect? Machiavelli saw this clearly centuries ago. He who neglects himself for others loses both his power and his freedom. You can love someone deeply, but if you don't first protect yourself, you become vulnerable. Your energy, your focus, your clarity, all of it gets drained by those who don't value it. Think about the times you compromise too much in your love life. Maybe you let someone cross boundaries because you wanted their approval. Maybe you tolerated behavior that hurt you, thinking it was worth it to keep them around. And every time, you lost a piece of your strength. Putting yourself first isn't selfish, it's strategic. It's the first step toward being respected, desired, and unshakable. Imagine a version of yourself where your priorities are clear. You love fully, yes, but you don't lose yourself in the process. You protect your time, your energy, your heart. You say no when it matters. You walk away when your boundaries are crossed. And the world suddenly treats you differently. Because the moment you start putting yourself first, something incredible happens. You stop being manipulated. You stop being taken for granted. You stop losing your power, and people start respecting you for it. Remember, Machiavelli didn't say this to make life harder. He said it so you could survive and thrive. Love deeply, but protect yourself first. Always. The transformation from liked to respected. Let's return to Adrian. After adopting these Machiavellian principles, his life transformed, not because he became cold or cruel, but because he became powerful. He spoke less and people listened more. He gave less and people valued it more. He stopped chasing and suddenly others chased him. He stopped trying to be liked and people began respecting him. And this is the ultimate truth Machiavelli reveals. When you stop needing approval, you gain authority. When you stop chasing validation, you gain influence. When you stop trying to be liked, you become respected. The dark power of respect is not evil, it is essential. It is the foundation of leadership, attraction, and personal strength. And the moment you unlock it, your life changes forever. Closing message. So ask yourself right now, are you living to be liked or are you living to be respected? Because the world treats these two types of people very differently. If you've made it this far, I want you to take a deep breath and choose power over approval, starting today. And with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,